Hi, my name is Pam McNall. I'm the founder of Respectful Ways. We are a social and emotional learning curriculum that is trauma informed for pre-K through 12th grade students. And it is truly our honor to be a part of the Panorama Ed Summit. We're thrilled to be here. A little bit of an agenda layout for what to expect now. We're going to go through a number of important and informative websites that will be helpful for understanding trauma-informed language and the importance of what your words matter, what you say matters, and then the repercussions of if you do not stay in trauma-informed language. I also have a number of show and tell items from a number of experts in the industry. It'll be very helpful as well. And we're going to talk about the heart-brain science and the connection and communication from our hearts to our brains and how that can help traumatized children, actually anyone. All of us can benefit from the heart-brain science. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And we're going to learn a little bit about our partnership with the Attachment and Trauma Network. This is going to lead us right into all of these websites. We have an exclusive partnership with the Attachment and Trauma Network. They are the oldest and largest think tank for trauma-informed learning and for trauma-sensitive schools. And I'm sorry, they just finished their huge convention. Please mark your calendars for next year. It is incredibly powerful. It's always in mid-February. The Creating Trauma-Sensitive Schools convention. It was truly tremendous. So I'm going to show you a little bit. That's our relationship. We're give a lot of information and blogs on our homepage, and letting you know that there's a video you can watch. But the most important thing I want you to see here is to take the survey. That is how we're custom made, and we're able to fit with exactly your students and fit with your student population and the behavioral needs and issues that you have. So we talked about how what you say matters and how you say it. And I'm going to give you an example of how if you phrase, I'm going to go into Let's Chat. It's one of our items.
Hey, everybody, let's chat.
One of our modules. And we're going to discover, what does the statement "do the right thing" mean to you? Here, at question number 2, trauma-informed. Give an example of someone doing the right thing in a movie, video, or real life. The big difference here is that how it's phrased. If you asked a student of trauma, give an example of you doing the right thing. Now that would either shut them down, their brain would either shut down, or they're going to flip their lid in frustration because they perhaps have been told they've been worthless for half their life. So you actually phrase it in a way that everyone feels comfortable and everyone is still able to learn social and emotional learning. I'm going to stop sharing now, because what I'd like to get into is how you can actually take polls at your school in your classroom. So for example, River of Feelings is a wonderful poster by Jen Alexander. I'm going to show you her book next, but the concept is, why don't you ask your children right before, while they're walking into class, hey, how you feeling today? How's it going today? They're going to let you know, I'm feeling puny, I'm shut down, I'm going to give you a 9, not doing well. So then you might need an area of the calming corner, might be a helpful tool for you. I'm just right, I'm feeling good, I'm in the 5s. This is the river of feelings. Are you feeling calm, or just in calm water? Or are you in a storm? I am flipping my lid. If you don't know about what this means, the symbolism of the hand, this is the amygdala. The amygdala is where our emotions live, and they're overdeveloped for children of trauma. So when I say we're going to shut down or we're going to flip our lid, this is what happens to children of trauma. You can learn a lot about this in Jen's book, Jen Alexander, Building Trauma-Sensitive Schools. I tell you, I ate this one up. Look at all my notes. It's an excellent, excellent book. Another person I want to introduce you to is Melissa Sadin, Dr. Melissa Sadin, Teacher's Guide to Trauma, 20 Things Kids with Trauma Wish Their Teachers Knew. It's a brilliant book, very short. Notice this. You can get through that in a weekend. Dr. Sadin is a part of the Attachment and Trauma Network, our partners. And I just wanted to share a few items that now there's 20. They're all great, but I just wanted to pull out a few. Teach me to self-regulate. Give me a place to self-regulate. So what this chapter is about is how important it is to learn self-regulating language for the children, as well as having a calming area, a space in your classroom that can be permanent or not, and it's their place where they go to regulate. A child keeps them calm, a place of peace that can be created as needed. This space can be temporary or permanent, as I mentioned. Teach the children to use this space. It's a regulation space. It should be a place where children can go at anytime to regain control of their emotions. Very helpful tool from Dr. Sadin. The second one here I have is called Lighten Up. Even when I am pushing your buttons, if you can stay light, it will relax my fear response, my flip of the lid, or my shutdown, where I'm not going to learn a thing that day. If their brains have shut down or flipped, they're not going to be able to learn that day. And so lighten up, even when I'm pushing your buttons. If you can stay light, it will relax my fear response. So I want to share my screen one more time, because when I looked at the book and reread it again, I wanted to share with you that we've got an activity.
Which activity are we doing today?
Called Pushing Buttons. This one is for the youngsters out there. And you can push buttons, the positive or negative buttons. So it's not always negative. Sometimes you can really cheer someone on, right? So, they're able, or you are able to type right into the screen here. They can use a draw app if they're too young. At home, we have a home version and the school version. And they can express themselves through emojis and through writing and drawing. So there's different ways to discover what pushing buttons might mean. So I just wanted to share one with you. How about this one? Billy is sitting at his desk. He knows his teacher doesn't like loud noises, but he screams to get Riley's attention anyway. Billy's teacher gets upset and asks him to stop. So we have the children, you put your hand on your heart with either a smile or a sad face, because you know which button you pushed, correct? So what do we have? This was a negative scenario. Billy knows. So why would he act in this manner? Let's have a discussion. As a class, let's figure this out. What else could he have done? So I just wanted to show you the relationship we have with some of the materials that the Attachment Trauma Network offer. I also wanted to share one more item from the Teacher's Guide to Trauma. Less is more. This leads us to our next website. Less is more. Speak less, mean more. If you use too many words, I will lose or confuse your meaning. I won't understand you. Then I become afraid and I will freeze, flee, or fight, right? This is the brain changing. They have not developed the way we have. It's overdeveloped, amygdala. So less is more. Speak less, mean more. I wanted to bring you to the HeartBrain Science page. This is from heartmath.org. Traditionally, you always have heard the head to heart has been approached rather one-sided, but you're not hearing often about the communication between the heart and the brain is a dynamic two-way dialogue that's continuously influencing each other's function. Research has shown that the heart communicates to the brain in 4 ways: neurologically, through the transmission of nerve impulses; biochemically, via hormones and neurotransmitters, biophysically through pressure waves, and energetically through electromagnetic field interactions. Fascinating. Communication along these conduits significantly affects the brain's activity, and our research is showing that the heart sends just as much up to the brain as the brain is sending down to the heart. Um, you could There's a lot of fantastic information. The book behind it is called Science of the Heart. Heartmath.org is a very interesting website that will be helpful. One of the items here is um, to stop thought and go positive. So as soon as you start feeling these negative feelings that the children might be experiencing, an item I just taught to students yesterday in an 8th grade middle school. I was with about 30 kids on Zoom. The school has had one of their peers committed suicide, young 7th grader committed suicide. And I'll tell you, the children wanted to talk about anxiety over and over again. I'd move on to maybe another activity, or we'd be discussing the impact of video gaming and cortisol. They kept wanting to go back to the anxieties that they feel. So our kiddos out there, they're anxious. And this idea of calming and learning mechanisms through the attachment and trauma network, through the HeartBrain Science, there's a lot more to just knowing what the heart-brain communication is. There are ways to actually influence and calm your brain by using and concentrating on your heart, which you can learn more about if you wish. The other thing I wanted to talk about was how you phrase things matter. Remember how we talked about one of the things I wanted to mention is how instead of you mentioning to a child, "Boy, I'm so proud of you," one of the most important things you could do is say, "You must be so proud of yourself for getting that A," or "You must be so proud of yourself for running those bases." It really changes them to start thinking inside of themselves as opposed to getting recognition from outside. We're building up self confidence, we're building up self love. This is all part of building up that inner belief in yourself through your heart. Um, let's see. I wanted to share with you. Well, one of our modules actually talks and works with love yourself first and foremost, where you get to really reimagine yourself, your future selfie. And we all know selfies. It's sort of like a U 2.0, et cetera. But I wanted to show you something about that's very, very meaningful to respectful ways and to social and emotional learning in general. And that is the CASEL's core competencies and this very important framework and graphic of systemic SEL and how that can actually work in changing the lives of children. So what I wanted to show you was how it's about the classrooms and having those tools and materials in the classrooms. So for example, we're teaching children to let their love light shine. Okay, let your love light shine. We're in class. We're going to talk about this. We're going to do have fun with your friends. Don't make fun, have fun with your friends. And really explaining, how do you feel inside when someone makes fun of you? Again, we're bringing it back to the visualization of the heart. How does it feel inside when someone makes fun of you? And then how can you, what do you do to help yourself? And how does it feel to have fun with friends? Reminding them, have fun, don't make fun. So these are some wonderful tools. Other thing I wanted to point out is the school level. You can make an impact on all of your students if it's not taught in a vacuum. Sure, you can start in the classroom, but what good is it? They'll go right back to their old ways unless they're constantly seeing this recognition of it's okay to feel uncomfortable. So here's one of our respectful signs that can be out in the school area. I have the power to transform. What does the emoji mean to you? Look on the bright side of things. Look on the bright side. What does this mean to you? This symbolism, constant awareness. So this framework that CASEL has is truly works, and we believe it, and we work right in that format. And now, homes and communities. A number of our school districts will go into their rec centers and communicate with their county and talk to their rec centers and say, hey, why stop at the school? They get on the bus. They might have some really good signage on the bus. They get to their after school program and they see a banner on the wall with social and emotional skills and emotional learning. They then come home, and at home they might have the home connects. It's very important. What we offer is Spanish and English home connects, where their children are learning, or the parents are learning the objectives of what the students may have learned that week in school, or that month in school. Let's chat questions themselves. And we give the answers to the parents because, again, and then these activities can be a lot of fun. You put this out on the table, and that child has gone from the classroom with all of these positive affirmations out in the school. And then they come home, and what's there on the kitchen table? And they get to have a conversation with mom or dad or siblings, or they might actually be able to do an activity. They learned a new poem, so they might quote the poem. These are the kinds of things that are very, very helpful, and the tools that we help to make a systemic program um, through your community. And so I just wanted to offer. We have a free trial going on, so I wanted to put that out there because it's available. You are able, in fact, if you are a part of the American School Counselor, you received this magazine, and you will see here that we have an advertisement that gives off, and you can use that QR code. You can use that QR code, and that's very helpful for getting some more information and tools into your community. So I hope that some of these experts that we reviewed, Dr. Saden, for example, is helpful. Please be in touch anytime. I'm Pam at respectfulways.com. And I thank you so much for attending this review. And we appreciate you, Panorama Ed. Thank you so much for your time.